All right, so it's day 30 of 100 Days of ML. Things are going pretty well, almost 1/3 of the way. So today I'm going to be fixing features.py, generating statistics, visualizing the statistics, and then inferring schema. All of this is going to be done through TensorFlow data validation, TFDV, under the components of TFX. So first things first, I have to fix features.py. Let me navigate to my folder directory. I think it comes under models, features.py. So currently the features are set up for the Penguin dataset, but since I have a custom dataset for IMDb, I'm going to have to be changing the features. I believe that in my dataset, I only have one feature, which is just labeled as text. It's called review, and then the label is sentiment. So let's get that, throw it in here. Label would be sentiment. Okay, so got this done. This step 3 and 4. Features test, they should be the same, I believe. So from models, import features, and then what are we doing here? Test label, assert not in features, label key, features key. What is self features test? tf.test.test case. I wonder what that is, tf.test case. Base class for tests that need to test TensorFlow. Method name. So we have a method here, test label key. We pass in self. And what's assert not in? So A is not in B. But with a nicer default message. So the member and the container, I check if label key and features key A not in B. Okay, so this just make sure that my label key is not in the features key, I believe. Pretty simple to test. Back here, save this. I gotta change this documentation. It's no longer for Penguin. Oh, so features names, label, and size of vocabulary. So I have to do these two things. Label and size of vocabulary. Let's see what's next. Alright, so I think I got features.py sorted out. Next would be generating statistics and visualizing it, and also inferring schema. Let's go to pipeline. Component schema is generated here. Statistics is generated here. Components.append. Schema. Sample validator. So, I mean, I think I'm appending it to components, and then I'm running it during the pipeline. But I want to check with notebooks. How do I do that? Basically, I want to check the TFX pipeline output saved as a .gz TF record. Split. There's 3 and 7. Driver and execution. There's anomalies. I don't understand the numbering of this. Not what I was typing. Example gen. How do I visualize my pipeline outputs? Well, this is for airflow. What about like the local run? I'm not sure. There's customizing and building, but there's no way to actually view the pipeline. I guess I could build like a notebook for everything. Could have a pipeline test notebook, I guess, which would go through, add in the components, and check if the components are actually working. Yeah, I think I'm gonna do that. Okay, let me get that Docker file running. I'll have to remember to recompile the image due to the fact that I added 2 more dependencies, but I'll do that in time. Okay, so let's navigate to ML and pipeline, create a new notebook, call it test. So same imports. I don't even need typing here. I'm not creating a function. And I'm just going to be testing each component one at a time. What's wrong with this? I'm not sure why it's not importing another file. We'll deal with this later. First things first, I need to check example gen. So data path is being imported from configs. That should work. And let's print out example gen. So data path is not defined. It's probably because this didn't run due to this error. Okay, let's import. I like that. Still nothing. What am I missing here? Data path. All right, so this would be specified during the function call. So I need to specify all of the variable names. So it's a pipeline name and all that stuff. So first, let's start with data path. And then I'm going to get this from the local runner. So I need to import OS as well. What's wrong here? File is not defined. Okay, what am I trying to do here? I always have the join directory name, and I'm trying to navigate to basically the data. So instead of that, can I just make it an easier way? Let's try this. What does this do? A path-like object representing the file system path. So path would be like that, and then based on that, I guess I can specify. This is kind of just like PWD. Print working directory in OS Python. Let me try if I can use get working directory. Well, what is data path? Okay, how about this now? All right, that runs, and I think I could even visualize the example gen. I forgot what the command was. Let me check my textbook. validation, TFED. Wait, this isn't even data validation. This is like example gen. This is data ingestion. Okay, so I have to do context.run and example gen. And this should, do I have to import context? What is context here? Name context isn't defined. Let me check the TFX API. So TFX version 1, and I should have something called context. Alright, looks like my internet cut out there for a little bit, but now I'm back. Not too sure why I'm getting this error here, but it's not letting me print the example gen visually in the notebook. Okay, so I think I have to use interactive context to create the context. And for that, I have to import this. And I also have to set this. Now let's try it. Oh, don't tell me it's the same. All right, I have to define context. Dependencies required for interactive beam collection visualizations are not are not available. Pip install Apache Beam interactive. Okay, let's try this. The pattern does not match any files. Okay, now we got the interactive Apache Beam in the Jupyter Notebook. Splits pattern is star. Does not match any files. I don't think I have to run context run anymore for me to visualize, because I can see it right here. So let's get rid of this and move on next to, what's next? Components, statistics gen. Sample gen output, and then examples. And then let's visualize statistics. Why is there nothing in here? Inputs 0, 1 artifact, outputs is 0. Something's not happening correctly. There should be a way to visualize the statistics. I'm figuring out the command for that right now. Or is that for schema? Generating statistics. So we're not using TFVD here, we're using TFX, TFTV. So I have statistics gen here. How do I? This is what it runs. Execution result, ID2, inputs 1 artifact, outputs is also 1 artifact, JSON on. But for me, for some reason, I'm getting out statistics as 0, example and statistics. Example and statistics. There should both be 1 artifact, inputs and outputs. So what's going wrong here? Component, CSV example gen. This output is so annoying. I can't even like see the whole thing. Output data format 6. I think it's about the same thing. except for the fact that it says one artifact here. For outputs, but I have 0 at mine. Yeah, it's a little whack. And I don't think this example, statistics is correct either. There's statistics, gamma, and then there's example validator. Okay, let's just move on to schema and see how that comes out to be. This also showing 0 artifacts. I could visualize the data using TF-DV. I wonder how that works within TFX. I need to check example gen. I mean, all of this is cool, but how do I... print it out? Like in TF-VD, I could do display schema, display anomalies. Could generate statistics from TF record or from CSV. Okay, let's try that. I'll have to import TF-VD. Probably have to pip install it as well. Is it part of TFX? I don't think so. I think I'll have to install it separately. I'll need to add TensorFlow data validation. I also need to add this to my requirements. and Apache Beam. Still not working. Okay, so I'll have to import it like that. There we go. Rerun all of this, and then now I can do I can load into the statistics using TF-DB. I can also generate the schema. Let's do it using data location, and then I'll pass in data path. And then I can just print stats. Okay, so I have to data path, I need to add .csv. What? No file. Pretty sure it's there. Data.csv. Pipeline. Wait, why is it going to pipeline? It shouldn't be going to pipeline. That's okay, that's probably why it's not it shouldn't be getting the current working directory, it should be getting the parent directory. Let's just try this. Still showing 0 artifacts. Well, now it's not even showing 1 artifact, it's showing both 0. Okay, so number of examples, it's just loading it in. String, non-missing. Okay, cool. And it's printing out literally everything. But how do I visualize this? I have to do how do I visualize the statistics? TF-VD. Was it display? Display schema and anomalies, but there's no display like statistics. Okay. I guess we can't really see the statistics. Let me double check with the textbook. Yeah, I don't think there's an output for statistics. Well, we could continue with the schema. And then do the same thing with stats. And then use tfdv dot display schema. Review in bytes, sentiment and int, both required. Valency and domain. Yeah, it's fine if these two are empty. Next we could compare. Oh, we can visualize statistics. It's just called tfdv. Visualize statistics. But here he uses like validation and train stats. What is it called here? Validate, visualize statistics. Here we go. There's left hand side, right hand side, but what if I just want to compare like one? Oh, it is optional. So default is none. So what I can do is just pass in stats as the left hand side. Here we go. Getting some sort of graphs here. Count 50,000 zeros, 50%, but it's counting zeros as I mean, it has to contain zeros because like it's a binary data set, so it's either 0 or 1. Categorical, yeah, so unique 49. Where's this top frequency? And this is showing the reviews. Okay. But why didn't any of this load? Because it's still showing 0 artifacts here. Yeah, still showing 0 artifacts. Even though I updated the data path, it should be pointing to the data directory. Not too sure. Anyways, I guess next step would be example validator, examples and schema using the preprocessing function. Oh, this is transform, my bad. Sample validator, statistics and schema. That's the same thing in TFDB. Validate examples in CSV. Okay, let's run the TFX version and then the TFDB. Empty. I don't know. Let's just use TFTV. I don't think my pipeline's picking it up properly, so I have to definitely check how that's working. I have to specify data location, statistics option, column names, delimiter, upper path, optional. What stats options for generating data statistics? This must contain a schema. I could just pass in schema, I believe. I'm not sure what I'm passing in here for validate examples. I could do validate statistics. I validate the different statistics. Yeah, I'm not too sure what this is for. Example validator. Performs anomaly detection based on statistics and data schema. I mean, we could directly compute it based on statistics. I can, instead of examples, I could do validate statistics and then pass in statistics and schema. But I'll have to pass in like the previous outputs, I believe. Or not, this is fine. Feature sentiment, int, presence, faction, count 1, size 1, presence and shape. There's the features, 2 features. Seems fine to me. But for some reason it's not loading into the pipeline. I wonder if that's different if I run it on the terminal. So what was the command again? Run tfx run pipeline name, and then no pipelines to display. What? To have to recreate. Oh, is it because I'm not in the right direction? Now let me test it. Still nothing to display. Not sure why. Well, the metadata is like literally right here. It's detected local. Interesting. See if this output matches the same thing as so first things first, it should be displaying the example gen. So it's giving information about pipeline, IDs, text classifier, node, type, tfx example gen, .csv example gen, cc example gen, string value. Okay. Outputs. Split names, value string. Okay, ML data. That's a field value string. Parameters. Input config. So this is a CSV example gen right here. Yeah, this is pretty much CSV example gen. And then we have our statistics gen next. Statistics gen. Input CSV example gen. And here's the output. I don't know. I don't think it's picking up that data. So there's some troubleshooting I need to do. I don't understand what's going wrong here. I think I'll have to continue this tomorrow. And troubleshoot the pipeline. For some reason, I mean, the data path is correct. It navigates, I mean, it points to the data directory. But when loading data.csv, for some reason, it's not loading it correctly. It might be due to the fact that something in features.py is wrong, which would make sense because feature keys should be review and sentiment. Little keys, feature keys, and this isn't even used in loading the data for like for example gen and statistics and any of this initial data processing. It's not the features is not like required. So I have to check what's going wrong here. But yeah, I think tomorrow I'll just be troubleshooting tensor validation. So data validation, ingestion and validation. Tomorrow's task, and then day 31 got pushed to day 32, which is data reprocessing. Cool, let me get this updated, and that's pretty much it for today. And I'll do the